Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the topic discrete Fourier transform. So this topic belongs to the subject digital signal processing or discrete time signal processing. Okay. So already we discussed so many transforms in signals and system. Okay. That is for in order to analyze the continuous time signal x of t, we used the continuous time Fourier transform, then continuous time Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Okay, similarly, in order to analyze the discrete time signal x of n, so we used the discrete time Fourier transform DTFT and one more transform Z transform we discussed. Okay, so in the signals and system playlist, so we analyzed that is all type of, that is either continuous time signal or discrete signal. So using 4 transforms, we analyzed maximum standard signals. Okay. So if we want to study the Z transform, discrete time Fourier transform, continuous time Fourier transform, and Laplace transform problems, so you check the signals and system playlist. So in my channel. Okay. So now we are going to start the subject discrete time signal processing as well as digital signal processing. Okay, so the first in digital signal processing, so we are using the main transform. It is said to be the discrete Fourier transform. So the discrete Fourier transform, it is shortly written as DFT. Okay, so what is the relation between DTFT and DFT means? So similar to DTFT, this DFT is also used to analyze the discrete time signal or discrete time sequence x of n. Okay. So in order to analyze the discrete time sequence x of n, already we studied one transform. It is said to be the DTFT. Okay. So that DTFT we studied in signals and system paper. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about the topic discrete Fourier transform. So what is the relation between this DTFT and DFT means? In the case of DTFT, if you are taking DTFT for the signal small x of n means, we will get the answer x of e power j omega. Okay. So that is the discrete time Fourier transform of any discrete signal x of n. It is indicated as capital X of e power j omega. So you see, if you are taking DTFT of any discrete time signal, we will get the answer x of e power j omega. This x of e power j omega, if you are drawing the spectrum for this x of e power j omega, we will get the spectrum graph is in the nature, continuous in nature. Okay. But in DFT, so for the same discrete signal x of n, if you are taking discrete Fourier transform, we will get the answer. It is said to be capital X of k. Okay, so capital X of k. So what is the answer? What is the difference between this x of e power j omega and x of k means? The spectrum obtained from the DTFT is a continuous in nature. Even though we are applying discrete signal, the output obtained from the DTFT is a continuous in nature. But in DFT, in discrete Fourier transform, the spectrum, the output spectrum obtained from the DTFT is discrete in nature. Okay, so you know this x of e power j omega, the frequency spectrum graph is like continuous. Okay, this is the continuous graph. But x of k graph is like discrete. Discrete means, you know, at a particular point k equal to 0, k equal to 1, k equal to 2, the x of k is having some value. Okay, discrete in nature. That is the difference between DTFT and DFT. Okay, so why in DSP processor? Okay, why in digital signal processing instead of DTFT we are using DFT means, that is we want in digital signal processing. Okay, what is digital signal processing? The signals are processed in a digitally. Okay, so in order to process the signal digitally, we needed the input signal as well as the output spectrum is also discrete in nature. Okay, but in the case of DTFT, even though the input is discrete, the output obtained from the DTFT is continuous in nature. Okay, so that's why if you want to get the discrete output, okay, discrete analyzed output, we are using the transform. It is said to be the DFT. Okay, and simply if you are saying the DFT is nothing but the sampled version of DTFT. Okay, so if you are sampling, this is the DTFT spectrum graph. In the spectrum graph, if you are taking some sampling process means, okay, sampling, okay, we studied in signals and system in 4th unit, we studied the process sampling. What is meant by sampling? The process of converting the continuous signal into discrete. It is said to be the sampling process. So this continuous spectrum, in the continuous spectrum, we are taking some sample, okay, at k equal to 0, k equal to 1, k equal to 2 at a discrete instant of time. If we are taking the value means we will get the discrete graph. Okay, so the DFT, the x of k is nothing but it is a sampled version of x of e power j omega. Okay, that is the relation between DTFT and DFT. Okay, so this is the relation thing. So now you see, so as per the definition of the DFT, you see the DFT is used to convert a finite discrete time sequence x of n to a n-point frequency domain sequence capital X of k. Okay, so how that is the Fourier transform of the signal x of n. Okay, we are mentioning it as a capital X of e power j omega. Similar to this, the DFT, discrete Fourier transform of the signal x of n, it is mentioned as capital X of k. Okay, so it is used to convert the time domain signal into the frequency domain, n-point frequency domain sequence. It's a one thing. And another one, this DFT is a very powerful computational tool for the evaluation of the Fourier transform of the signal in a digital computer. Okay, the DTFT, okay, why we are not all using the DTFT means the DTFT we are using, but in the digital computer we are not all using the DTFT since the output of the DTFT is again continuous in nature, but we want the discrete. So that's why DFT, it's a very powerful computational tool for the evaluation of Fourier transform on a digital computer or specially designed hardware. Okay, and one more thing. So already I said, that is the DFT. The DTFT is nothing but you see this one, the X of k. What is X of k? DFT of the given input sequence X of n. The DFT output is obtained by performing the sampling process of the DTFT. What is x of e power j omega? DTFT output of the sequence x of n. So in that DTFT output, we are taking some sampling process. Okay, at omega equal to 2 pi k by n, we are taking the sampling process means that output we are call it as a DFT. Okay, so you see, if the spectrum obtained by DFT is capital X of e power j omega means that spectrum is sampled for one period of Fourier transform. Such a transformation is called as discrete Fourier transform. Okay, so this is the thing about the DFT. And the next thing, the comparison between the DTFT and DFT. So it's an important 2-mark question. Okay, what is the difference between DTFT and DFT and the comparison? So already we discussed. So the DTFT of the input sequence x of n is call it as capital X of e power j omega. In DFT, the DFT of the sequence x of n, it is indicated as capital X of k. Instead of e power j omega, we have to put k. Okay, this is the one thing. And another one, the DTFT is used for, okay, in order to analyze either finite sequence or infinite sequence. Okay, already know the x of n sequence is the input sequence. So the input sequence may be finite or infinite. What does mean by finite? Finite means, for example, you see x of n is having the sample, only 3 sample, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if the given sequence is having finite number of values means that sequence we are calling it as a finite sequence. Okay, in some time the x of n is u of n. What is u of n? Unit step sequence. So unit step sequence is mentioned as, what is unit step sequence? The unit step sequence is having the amplitude 1 from n equal to 0 to n equal to infinity. So infinite number of 1 is available. So you see in the second x of n sequence, how many samples? Infinite samples are there. So this is the infinite sequence. So u of n, a power n, u of n, a power n, u of minus n minus 1. So we solved so many problems in the signals and system in the DTFT problem, you know. So the DTFT is used for either the given sequences of finite sequence and infinite sequence. But DFT, okay, in digital signal processing, we are going to use one transform, it is DFT. But this DFT is only used for the finite sequence. What is finite sequence? The given sequence x of n must consist of finite number of sample. 4 sample, 8 sample, 16 sample, 32 sample, 64 sample. So the finite number of samples only we have to do the process DFT. But in DTFT, the DTFT can be applied either finite sequence or infinite sequence. This is the another one difference. Okay. Then the third thing is that already you know the frequency spectrum. Okay, the output spectrum obtained in the case of DTFT is continuous in nature. Okay, that is the graph, the spectrum graph x of e power j omega value is continuous in nature with respect to the function omega. But in DFT, the frequency spectrum obtained is discrete in nature. That is the another one difference. Okay, so this is the difference between DTFT and DFT. So the main thing is that in order to obtain the discrete graph, okay, in order to obtain the discrete frequency spectrum, since we have to use digital signal processing. So digital signal processing compulsory, we want the output in discrete in nature. Okay, so that's why in order to analyze that discrete time signal, in order to obtain the discrete spectrum, we are especially using this discrete Fourier transform. Okay, so this is the comparison between the DTFT and DFT. Okay, and the next thing, applications. Okay, so this is also a important 2-mark question. So what are all the, where we are using this DFT? Okay, this discrete Fourier transform, this mathematical tool where we are using means the DFT is used, so widely used in applications where means one is it is used in a linear filtering operation. Okay, so the main thing in a digital signal processing, the filtering process is very important. Okay, filtering, that is we have to remove the noise signal, the unwanted signal, we have to filter. Okay, so that in a linear filtering we must use the process DFT. Okay, so in the second and third unit you are having the FIR filter design and IAR filter design completely. Okay, so each unit, one unit is FIR filter. FIR filter means finite impulse response filter, and the third unit IAR means infinite impulse response filter we are going to design. So in the filtering design we must use this DFT process. Okay, then this DFT is used in application like correlation analysis. Okay, correlation means correlation. What is correlation means? If we want to find the relation between some two signal means that process we are calling it as a correlation. Okay, so in order to find the relationship between the first signal and the second signal, we are using one specific term in communication. It is called as a correlation. So in order to perform the correlation analysis, we are using this DFT. Okay, and the third thing is spectrum analysis. Okay, the main thing, the Fourier transform means what is the aim of the Fourier transform? In order to convert the time domain signal x of n into frequency domain signal. Okay, so why we are converting the time domain into frequency domain? That is in order to draw the frequency spectrum. Okay, since the frequency domain representation, from the frequency domain representation there are more information is available. That means in which what are all the frequency content. Okay, that is for example if we want to analyze one our voice signal means so each voice signal is having different frequency component. Okay, my voice signal is having different frequency component, your voice signal is having mixing of different frequency component. So in order to analyze what are all the frequency components available in my voice signal, okay, and what is the amplitude of the particular frequencies. Okay, so if we want to analyze that thing, first we have to draw the spectrum. So in order to draw the spectrum, we must take DFT for the particular signal. Okay, so that analysis we are calling it as a spectrum analysis. Okay, and another one signal processing. Okay, so in the signal processing, we are using this DFT. So these are only some of the applications of DFT. Okay, so it is also one of the important 2-mark question. Okay, then the next one, we are going to see the formula. Okay, what is the DFT equation and the inverse DFT equation in order to solve the problems. Okay, so the DFT. Okay, so this is the important question. So in some time they're asking write down the analysis equation of DFT and the synthesis equation of DFT. Okay, what is analysis equation means? The DFT equation, that is in order to convert the time domain x of n into the frequency domain x of k. Okay, the formula used to convert the time domain into frequency domain, that equation we are calling it as an analysis equation of DFT. And synthesis equation means the inverse DFT. Okay, so already you know each transform is having their own inverse transform. Okay, for example, if you are taking Laplace transform means there will be a inverse Laplace transform is there. What is Laplace transform? In order to convert the time domain signal x of t into a capital X of s, we are using Laplace transform. In reverse, the capital X of s into small x of t, we are using inverse Laplace transform. Similarly, in Z transform, there is an inverse Z transform is there. Okay, similarly, so for DT, for this transform DFT, there is an inverse transform is there. Okay, so that inverse DFT equation, we are calling it as a synthesis equation. Okay, so it is also an important 2-mark question. Okay, so you just write the formula for DFT equation and inverse DFT equation. Okay, so first one, we are going to define the DFT formula. Okay, so in DTFT also we used some formula, you know. So similarly, what is the DFT formula we have to see. So here already you know the DFT output is some finite output. Okay, since the DFT already we discussed, you know, the DFT is defined only for finite sequence. Okay, for example, the given sequence x of n, it consists of either 2 sample or 4 sample or 8 sample or 6 sample, 16 sample. Okay, so for finite number of samples only we have to use the DFT. Okay, so for finite input sample means what about the output of the DFT? The output of the DFT is also finite output. That is, if you are giving 8 input means we will get the DFT output is also 8 outputs. Okay, 8 different outputs we will get. Okay, so that 8 we are mentioning generally as a endpoint DFT. Okay, so the endpoint DFT of a finite duration sequence x of n having the length L, it is defined as, okay, so you see if you are taking DFT for the sequence x of n, it is represented as capital X of k. And what is the formula in order to find the DFT means the capital X of k equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 x of n into e power minus j 2 pi k n divided by capital N, where n is a variable. Okay, small n is a variable and capital N is a that endpoint DFT, it's a constant. Okay, for example, if the given problem consisting of 4 sample means we have to take 4-point DFT. If the given x of n is having 8 sample means we have to perform 8-point DFT. Okay, so n is equal to either 4, 8, 16, 32, etc. Okay, so where the capital N, okay, capital N is that endpoint DFT and capital L is the length of the input sequence. Okay, and this k is also a variable. Okay, and capital N is a constant. So here the k, it will vary from 0, 1 up to n minus 1. That is, we are going to obtain n number of outputs. Okay, so by n number of output means first we have to find for k equal to 0, we have to find x of 0, 1 output. Similarly, if we have to put k equal to 1 means we will get x of 1, another 1 output. Okay, all discrete output. So similarly for k between 0 to n minus 1, we have to output n samples. Okay, so this is the DFT formula. So capital X of k equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e power minus j 2 pi k n divided by n. This is the formula. Okay, and this equation is called as analysis equation of DFT. And the next thing, synthesis equation. What is synthesis equation? The reverse process. The process of converting the frequency domain capital X of k into the time domain small x of n. This process we are calling it as a inverse DFT. Okay. So IDFT. Okay, it is simply called as IDFT. IDFT is used to convert the endpoint frequency domain sequence x of k into the endpoint time domain sequence small x of n. Okay, so the formula is that. So this formula is similar to the DFT formula. Okay, so in DFT, what is the input? Input is x of n, the output is x of k. But in the inverse DFT, reverse. Input is x of k, output is a small x of n. So the output, the time domain sequence x of n is obtained by 1 by n into summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 capital X of k multiplied with e power j2 pi k n divided by n. Okay, so you just compare these two formulas. So if you are comparing the DFT formula and IDFT formula, so you see here the summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1. Okay, in inverse DFT formula, summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1. Here input is x of n. In inverse input is capital X of k. Here e power minus j2 pi k n by n. Here e power plus. Okay, here e power minus, e power plus. Then additional in inverse DFT there will be a 1 by n. We have to divide this answer by capital N. But here there is no n. Okay, this is the formula difference between the DFT and inverse DFT. Okay. So you just see this equation. So using this equation only, we are going to solve the problems. Okay, only simple thing. And here we may write this DFT equation and this inverse DFT equation in terms of twiddle factor. What does mean by twiddle factor? Means here you see in this x of k equation, that is in DFT equation, and in this inverse DFT equation, you see e power minus j2 pi k n by n. Similarly, here e power j2 pi k n by n. That e power term, you know. So here this e power minus j2 pi by n, we are considering as a twiddle factor wn. Okay, so we are defining that e power minus j2 pi by capital N, we are considering as a twiddle factor wn. Okay. So instead of in this two formula, instead of this e power minus, if you are putting the wn means the DFT and IDFT equation, it can be shortly written as, so you see this is the DFT equation, capital X of k equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n multiplied with, what is the original formula? The original formula is e power minus j2 pi k n by n. So here instead of e power minus j2 pi by n, we have to put the twiddle factor wn. Okay, but wn to the power kn. So this equation is shortly denoted as x of n into wn power kn, where wn is nothing but this value e power minus j2 pi by n. Okay, so this is the shortest formula for the DFT in terms of twiddle factor. Okay. Then similarly, the inverse DFT formula. Okay, so you see this inverse DFT formula we may written as, okay, this formula instead of this e power minus j2 pi by n, we can written as x of n equal to 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k into wn power minus kn. Okay, so this is the inverse DFT formula in terms of twiddle factor. Okay. That is this twiddle factor, it makes the DFT problem in a easy method. Okay, we may solve using this equation. Okay, using this standard equation, we may solve the DFT problem, but it will take somewhat lengthy. Okay, so if you are knowing this twiddle factor matrix value means we will solve the DFT problem in a very easy method. Okay, so we may use either that method or twiddle factor method. Okay, so that is the thing. And so this is the twiddle factor. So what is here we are mentioning the twiddle factor value. What is twiddle factor? The twiddle factor wn power kn. This twiddle factor we are representing as a matrix, okay, with k number of rows and n number of columns. You see Wn power kn. So here k number of rows and n number of columns. Okay, so the Wn, it can be written as, so k, what is the range of k and n? Already you know the k ranges from 0 to n minus 1. Similarly, n also ranges from the same 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so you see along the row, the first row, in the first row, what is k value? K value equal to 0. Okay, then in the second row, k is 1. Third row, k is 2. Similarly, the final row is k equal to n minus 1. Similarly, column wise, the first column here, n equal to 0. Okay, the first column, n equal to 0. The second column, the small n equal to 1. Similarly, the last column, small n equal to capital N minus 1. Okay, n minus 1. So that's why, what is the first, so what is the size of this matrix? So you see, the k value ranges from 0 to n minus 1. So how many rows? Capital N rows. Similarly, how many column? 0 to capital N minus 1, n column. So what is the size of the total factor matrix? The total factor matrix is n cross n matrix. Okay. So n cross n, that is n number of rows and n number of columns. Okay. So this total factor, it is mentioned as, so you see, so in the first thing, so what is the first total factor means? So the general total factor is Wn power kn. So Wn power k. What is the first, in the first row, what is the value of k? 0. What is the value of n? 0. So k into n, it is 0. So Wn power 0. Similarly, the second also Wn power k is 0, n is 1. Anyway, the product k into n is 0. So the first row, full and full, Wn power 0. Similarly, the first column is also Wn power 0 since n value is 0. Okay, either k is different, but the first column n is 0. So anyway, the multiplication of k into n is 0 for the first row and first column. Okay, so you see this value. So this is the second row, second column. So second row, second column means Wn power, what is the k value? 1. What is the n value? 1. So 1 into 1, 1. So Wn power 1. Similarly, what is the next element? Wn power 2. K is 1, n is 2. So 1 into 2, 2. Okay. So in the second row, you see, in first row, all Wn power 0. In the second row, Wn power 0, Wn power 1, Wn power 2, etc. up to the final is Wn power n minus 1. Okay, one thing power increases. In the next third row, k is 2. So the first element Wn power 0. The next element 2 multiplied with 1, 2. Then the third element 2 multiplied with 2, 4. Okay, so multiples of 2 we will get. So Wn power 0, Wn power 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. up to what is the final value? Wn power 2 into n minus 1. Okay. Similarly, the last row. So the last row means k values n minus 1. So Wn power 0, Wn power n minus 1, Wn power 2 into n minus 1. So multiple of n minus 1 we will get. So the final value is Wn power n minus 1 into n minus 1. Okay, since k value is n minus 1, n value is also n minus 1. Okay, so this is the total factor matrix. Okay, so this total factor matrix is of size n cross n. Okay, that is if you want to find the 4-point DFT means this total factor matrix is 4 cross 4 matrix. If you want to find the 8-point DFT means the total factor matrix is 8 cross 8 matrix. Okay, so simply you multiply this matrix with the corresponding input sequence, we will get the DFT answer. Okay, it is a very shortest method in order to find the DFT. Okay, so this is the thing. So that's why the DFT and inverse DFT equation is shortly denoted as, so you see xn, that is the capital X of k. You see the X of k, the DFT output, it is a X of k, you know. So this X of k we can written as xn, that is xn means xn means the output matrix is obtained by multiplication of the total factor matrix into the input sequence small xn. Okay. Similarly, the discrete inverse DFT is obtained by, so it is obtained by multiplying the complex conjugate of the total factor matrix with the X of n sequence and we have to divide by capital N, means we will get the inverse DFT answer. Small x of n we will get. Okay. So here the Wn complex conjugate, it is nothing but a Wn power minus Kn. Okay, this is the thing. So this is shortest form of DFT and inverse DFT formula. Okay. So in the next video, we will discuss about so what is the twiddle factor matrix. Okay. So how to calculate the twiddle factor value. Okay. So how to remember the twiddle factor matrix values and how to solve the DFT problem in a direct evaluation method as well as this twiddle factor method. So we will discuss in the next video. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel and please subscribe my channel for more videos. And in the next video, so we will discuss with problems. Okay, so thank you.